Singular most important routine for good health. That's what we'll be talking about today. Yoga has morphed over the last couple of centuries than what it is today, especially in the West. Unfortunately, it's not a living butterfly. The British rule in India dictated a new policy with the Indian Vedic practices by simply outlawing them to be performed. This served as an effective first strike against the finest ancient culture of the old world, essentially. This must be a playing card in the deck of infiltrating and transforming a culture to make it fit a particular model like colonialism. Most of what the world knows about yoga, or wants to know about yoga, comes from the Vedic records of Patanjali, a holy scholar who recorded many forms of yoga sutras which were exclusively used for preparation for more advanced alignment, to align the soul to a cosmic origins of creation. The study of yoga meaning to unite, and sutra meaning to stitch together, was the preparation for the harmonizing the physical body and the mind with the soul consciousness. That in a nutshell. The history of yoga in the last 200 years is a study of how spiritual cultures are conformed to a religion that embraces and accepts materialism as a means of a better life. But I'm not sure if that really worked out well for India. They were sort of late to the party. Well, at any rate, still today, India holds secrets into life without materialism, which is probably why they were late to the party in the first place. Me growing up in the 70s in America, I have say that materialism got us a good run for the money. You know, like clean, warm housing, indoor plumbing. Let's not forget a washing machine and a set of wheels. But now, well, we have a whole new set of problems. Like losing your job, falling behind on the mortgage, or getting sued. Now here's a good one, or getting audited by the IRS. Yeah. Or how about bankruptcy or dealing with divorce attorneys? Oh yeah, it's been a fun ride for sure, indeed. Over the decades, yoga has trended to be a sort of a beauty fashion here in the West. I mean, staying sexy, well, that's important, I understand that. Certainly we're not knocking on heaven's door here. Yoga, now a household name, it's not the same yoga that was taught 200 years ago in a monastery or ashrams of India. Regardless of our paths, there's many roads to Rome, as they say, providing you want to go to Rome. The Vedic Upanishads are not the only references to yoga. The golden and red dragon cultures passed it down as a development of spiritual well-being and found its special place in martial arts monasteries, where it was practiced with the intent of building endurance. It's interesting that it was also passed down in schools of cultural dance, which put the spotlight on the fluid nature of yoga. In spite yoga being watered down like 1% milk, it's still growing industry in America, with schools in every major city. Some schools having connecting the breath exercises to the practice, which is promising because this, as was the case originally. Originally, yoga was the means of achieving perfect relationship with God. Consciousness is almost a prerequisite for spiritual advancement. I will not say wrapping yourself up like a pretzel will enlighten. However, training your mind to empower the body will have results. But first, the body has to be in harmony, physically and emotionally. Stress, emotional triggers, or otherwise, is a resistance to your personal power. It's simple. Resistance creates heat, increases entropy, and limits your personal power, or chi was referred to. Yoga or Yoga Tantra, there's more to the story here. And thanks to the Crown, we didn't get the full manual, sorry to say. Actually, we just got stuck on the intro somewhere and got introduced to the body positions. Yeah, literally, you can take any position you want and you could call it yoga. Pretty pathetic. We've always fallen victim to the academic world to authenticate and validate our knowledge. Professors to scientists, titles which carry a lot more than the job. Let's just call it for what it is. Academic graduated employees. There you go. A man that works very hard for something will fight very hard to protect it. And that in itself is a blind and seeing clearly. Well, if I was the predicting type, which I really try not to be, I would say the next half of this decade is going to be mostly about money. Creating money, disclosure, transparency are all going to be questioned, and they're going to be questioned a lot. For example, the World Health Organization is in the spotlight. You know, life will always have challenges, but the challenges we have in the future are going to be a lot different than the ones we've had in the past, because the rules of the game have changed. Especially for those that like to cheat. Well, it's going to be a very difficult path for sure for them. What can I say? You know, good time to practice Qigong, a dash of Kriya or Hatha Yoga? Perhaps it is.